Thank you very much, dear President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The top priority of the World Meteorological Organization is to protect the most fundamental right of all, the right to life. National meteorological and hydrological services work 24/7 to save lives and livelihoods. We are passionate about our mission, and we are very good at our jobs. Better weather forecast and improved disaster risk management mean that we have slashed the death toll from extreme weather. But climate change threatens to undermine our progress. The pace of climate change is accelerating quickly, and it affects everyone, everywhere. As the authoritative voice of weather, climate, and water, WMO is sounding the red alert. We are getting ever closer to the 1.5 degrees lower limit of the Paris Agreement on climate change. The world celebrated when the UN Human Rights Council passed a landmark resolution in 2021. This confirmed that the healthy environment is a human right. It marked a watershed moment in the fight against the triple planetary crisis of climate change, nature and biodiversity loss, and pollution and waste. But the time for celebration has passed. The climate crisis is the defining challenge that humanity faces. It is closely intertwined with the inequality crisis. It has cascading impacts on food security, population displacement and migration, health, energy, water. Every single one of the Sustainable Development Goals is affected. Sea level rise is threatening the very existence of small island developing states. Heat waves, floods, drought, wildfires cause untold suffering every year. They undermine multiple human rights. The recent floods in East Africa and Brazil, the scorching heat in South Asia and North Africa, and the acute drought in Southern Africa and Central America are yet another tragic reminder of this. And as always, vulnerable populations are hit hardest. The WMO issues annual State of the Climate reports. This highlights the socio-economic impacts of climate change and extreme weather. 2023 was the warmest year on record, and that trend continues in 2024. Weather and climate change impacts trigger new, prolonged, and secondary displacement. They increase the vulnerability of people who were already uprooted by conflict and violence. At the end of 2023, almost 3 in 4 forcibly displaced people were living in countries with high to extreme exposure to climate-related hazards, according to UNHCR. Somalia is just one example. More than 530,000 displacements were recorded related to a prolonged drought in 2023, in addition to more than 650,000 displacements primarily caused by conflict. Subsequent flooding during October-December rainy season affected more than 2.4 million individuals, displacing over 1 million people. Food insecurity is on the increase. Protracted conflicts, economic downturns, high food prices are at the root of high global food insecurity levels. This is aggravated by naturally occurring phenomena like El Niño and La Niña, and long-term climate change effects of climate and weather extremes. In 2022, 9.2% of the global population were undernourished. In Southern Africa, for example, the passage of Cyclone Freddy in February 2023 affected Madagascar, Mozambique, southern Malawi, and Zimbabwe. Flooding inflicted severe damage on crops and the economy. The same pattern was repeated in Eastern Africa and Brazil this year. Climate and health are also inextricably linked. Extreme weather like floods and tropical cyclones have a cascading impact. They destroy health facilities, kill or injure people, or accentuate waterborne diseases like cholera and mosquito-borne diseases such as malaria and dengue fever. Poor air quality causes millions of premature deaths every year. Heat is a silent killer, taking up to 500,000 lives a year. Temperatures of nearly 50 degrees are being recorded more and more frequently. This is not livable. It means that schools are closed, denying children the right to education. This is not the future we want for our children. Our children have the right to live and thrive on a sustainable and healthy planet. The cost of climate action now is so much cheaper than the cost of inaction to our future. But there is hope. Early warning systems save lives. WMO is committed to the UN Secretary General's initiative to provide early warnings for all by the end of 2027. This is our overriding top priority. Currently, only 50% of countries worldwide report having adequate early warning systems. We need to scale up and speed up. The transition to renewable energy can offer us a cleaner, healthier future. It can improve basic socioeconomic rights, the right to development. Renewable energy sources are available almost everywhere. Currently, more than half of African people lack the access to electricity, but Africa continent possesses some of the world's greatest potential for solar power generation. Every dollar of investment in renewables creates 3 times more jobs than fossil fuel industry. Energy transition could create a total of more than 30 million jobs by 2030. We are motivated by the fact that our work has a human dimension to save human lives and protect human rights. I thank you very much.